Hi everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. So today I'm going to show you how to make this Miru bracelet, and this was designed by Loom on Instagram. I will have her name in the description box below, and I will also bring it up here on Instagram, but first I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of this bracelet. It is really nice, and this is the signature side, and then the other side here is just what the other side looks like. So I'm going to bring up Loom's profile here on Instagram. So it's BYS and then underscore and then Loom. And I think her account is really nice. She has a lot of really nice photos and pictures and bracelets and color combinations. So she's also done quite a few original designs before, some of which I have done tutorials for her in the past. So as you can see, she has a bunch of photos. You can scroll through them all. And I will have her name in the description box below, so make sure to check her out on Instagram and give her a follow for me. And I'm going to show you how to make this today. So you can use 3 or 5 bar pins. I know I have 5 up here. That's how I was taught how to make it. But you can always use 3 if you do need to. You're either going to be using these 3 here or these 3 here. It just depends which side you're doing. So you're also going to need a hook, a C-clip, and some bands. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to be placing is these lime green jelly bands on the outside, which I am using burgundy for. So starting on the center, you're going up into the outside. You're going to do that twice. And then same thing on the other side. You're going to do a pretty standard border for this. So just go straight up the left and the right side of the loom until you reach the third to last peg. And then I will show you how to finish it off. Or close it off at least. So once you're here at the third to last peg, you're going to go up into the center twice and just close it off up here at this last middle peg. And then what you're going to do is go ahead and put those bands off to the side and come back to the beginning of your loom. Next thing we're going to be doing is placing these white Persian bands on the side. They're pretty frilly. I am using yellow for this. So all you're going to be doing is placing a simple zigzag. Dropped a band under there. You're just going to go out and then back, or in and then back out, and in and back out. You're going to do that up the left and the right side, so it's the same thing on the right side. And you're just going to do this all the way down until you reach the end of the loom. And then I'll show you what bands to place next. Also make sure you are pushing your bands down as you go, because we do have a couple more layers to place, and then we'll be looping, so it's going to get a little bit crowded on your pegs. Alright, so once you reach the top of your loom, this is what it should look like. Your zigzags are going to end out here on the sides, and then once you have that, go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. Next thing we're going to be doing is placing these glacier green bands, or these teal color bands, in the center, and these pink bands on the sides kind of at the same time. That was just a 2-step placing sequence. So my single chain band is going to be lime green jelly, and then my teal green and my glacier green is going to be fuchsia. So starting with your fuchsia bands, you're going to want 2 of them. What you're going to do is, starting on this second peg here, you're going to go up into the inside and mirror that on the other side. So you're just going to do a small arrow, and then you're going to take 2 of your green bands and just go straight forward on the sides, and repeat that again. Take 2 of your fuchsia bands, go up into the center, and then take 2 of your green bands and go up on the sides. So that's just the sequence all the way down the loom. It's a pretty simple looping step. You're just going to go up into the center and then just straight on those sides. So go ahead and do that all the way down until you reach the end of your loom, and then I will come back and show you what to do next. Alright, so once you have reached this point on your loom, it should look like this. You're going to end by placing those green bands forward. We're not going to place any bands up here on the centers because it's already occupied by these brown bands, your border bands. So go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. We have 2 more layers to place, which are the cocoa in here and the neon green, sorry. And what you're going to be doing is taking that color. I'm using rose jelly for both of them, both of the layers, so both the cocoa and the neon green. And what you're going to do is, we're first going to place the cocoa. What you're going to do is start out here, and just on the same peg as your single chain-ish bands, you're going to go up and into the center. And same over here, go up and into the center. Then go up to this next peg, and go up and into the center, and up and into the center. So this is a longer stretch here. And also for your single chain, you may want to use jelly bands or really stretchy bands because they do get pretty stretched out. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this all the way down the loom. It's just a simple step, and then I will come back, show you how to place the next step, and we can start looping. So your last band should end up here on the top center. If they don't, you may have placed your bands wrong, but they should just end right up here in the top center. And once you have all of that placed and finished, go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. Last thing we're going to do is place that neon green center chain, which is where you can attach both sides if you do make this on 3 pegs. Obviously, if you are doing this on just 3 pins, you will want to only do half of this. So anyway, starting on that center peg, all you're going to do is just place a single chain straight down until you reach the end of your loom. So it's a really simple part here. And next we will place our cap ends and start looping. So once you have reached the end, go ahead and put all of those bands off to the side. You don't need them anymore unless one of your bands breaks. But anyway, go ahead and turn your loom around so that the arrows are pointing towards you. Take 1 band or 2 if you're going to do a double cap band, and just put a simple cap band right here on the end, and that's the only one that we have to place. So go ahead and get your hook and we can go ahead and start looping. So first thing we're going to do is just simply loop up that single chain, go underneath of the cap band, and you're going to grab that top band. Hopefully it's your single chain band, I mean you just placed it, so you're just going to loop that onto itself. And then go back inside the peg that you just looped up to itself. Keep grabbing two bands. And grab the next single chain band and just simply pull it up to itself all the way down until you reach the end of the loop. So go ahead and loop that up into the very top. Here, let me move that forward. So you're going to loop that up into the very top and then go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. Next thing we're going to do is loop these V-shaped bands, which are now V-shaped bands. Before they were like long arrows. But you're going to go underneath of the cap band again and grab, whoa, that pin is popping out. Okay, grab this top band. You're going to pull it to itself. Try and push this down here. It will get pretty stretched out, so you might have to hold down that pin. Then you're going to take the other one and just pull it to itself. Go underneath and grab this V-band, pull it to itself, and pull it to itself. If you're using jellies, it should be relatively easy. It's not too stretched anyway. So that's all you're going to do all the way down the loom. Just go ahead and do that. And make sure to hold down your center bar pin if it does tend to pop out like mine do. My pins don't fit very well on my bases, I guess because they've gotten stretched out or something. Weird how plastic can, I guess, stretch out, but that's what happens. It's really the only thing I can think of because all bases are supposed to fit all pins. So anyway, go ahead and continue doing this all the way down till you reach the end of your loom. And then I only have a couple more to do. Then there's going to be another step. So once you have looped all of those out to themselves, you can go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. The next thing that we are going to do is loop these fuchsia bands that are underneath here. So go underneath of the bands on the second peg. You're going to grab this fuchsia band, and instead of pulling it to itself, which is right over here, you're going to pull it one peg down to that one. And then same thing here, go underneath and grab this band and pull it down to this peg. And I'm actually going to take off this cap band because it's getting pretty stretched out. But I'm going to put it back on after I finish looping the rest of it. I just don't want it to snap before I get there. So anyway, just go underneath the next peg. You're going to grab the fuchsia band. Remember, don't pull it to itself. Instead, pull it down one peg. So you're going to grab this band. And don't like twist it. See how this is twisted? You're going to grab it and pull it just down. So don't lay it like this, like lay it like that. It just makes it untwisted. It's, I guess, natural for me to do it like this. But just so you know. So go ahead and do this until you reach the end of the loom, and then we have a couple more layers to do. And then we'll be finished. And as you can see, this center single chain is getting pretty stretched out. Alright, so once you have once you've looped, all of those bands, go ahead and push down those ones on the pegs, and then come back to the beginning of your loom. What I now have to do is actually take this cap band and put this back on the peg because we do have to loop some more bands. So go underneath the cap band and you're going to grab this border band and pull it out to itself. The other border band goes out to itself, and that's all we're going to do for the border, so don't worry about looping any more of the border right now. We will obviously be looping them shortly. So you're going to go underneath of here, underneath of this border band. You're going to go underneath like 2 bands, I think, and you're going to grab the green, and pull it forward onto itself. Same thing on the other side, pull that forward. I'm actually going to take this cap band off again. And then what you're going to do is, again, grab this next band here. You're going to pull that out onto itself, the next border band pull that out to itself. Then once you have that out to itself, what you're going to want to do is go inside of here. You're going to grab the next single chain green band, you're going to pull it forward. Again, in this peg, pull the next single chain green band forward. Try and untwist it here. There we go. And then what you're going to do is go inside of this peg. You're going to grab the top band, which is the yellow band that goes back onto this peg. So you're going to pull that back onto itself. And same here, pull this back onto itself. And then go inside of this border band peg. You're going to grab that bottom border band and pull it straight onto itself. And same thing over here, pull that bottom border band straight up onto itself. And then what you're going to do is go back inside this peg because there are 2 yellow bands here. We only looped one of them. I'm going to grab the second one and pull that up to itself. And same here, goes up to itself. Then you're going to go up into this peg, grab this green band, pull it forward. And this green band, pull it forward. And then go inside only, grab that top band and pull it back to itself. Because after we do that, what we want to do now is grab this brown and pull it forward. Grab this brown and pull it forward. Then loop the other half of that peg out. And then go back inside, pull forward your single chain bands, then loop out the bottom. You're going to loop forward the side or the border. So we can now loop out the second part. And then go back up here, pull the green forward, and pull the other green forward. Loop the yellow down to itself, and then grab the brown, pull it straight up, and straight up, then loop the next yellow out to itself, and out to itself. So this is your process all the way down the loom. Also, if you want to take off these bands as well, you can. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and pop that off as well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing the rest of this. I'm almost halfway done. And then I'll show you how to finish this off. Also, if you still need instructions, you can rewind the video. Then as you get to the top, your loom should look like this. And then what you're going to do is just simply grab this brown band and pull it up into the top center. And same thing here, pull this brown band up into the top center. I know it's kind of off camera there. And then you're going to take one extension band here, or two, or however many you want to use, and stick it down through that top center. And now we can just go ahead and pull this off of the loom. So you will want to be careful when you pull this off, just like any bracelet. You don't want any of your bands to snap after you looped everything and placed everything. You don't want to have to do it all over again. Usually if you just take the border bands off, it should be really easy to get off, or it should at least come off nicely. So once you have finished, it might look something like this. Once you stretch it, the center gap that was just there before will kind of shorten, and then you can pull out these side bands if you want. This is the back side, and the front side are the signature sides. So that is all I'm going to have for this video, guys. So thank you for watching, and make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe. I will have Bias Loom's name in the description box below. Make sure to check her out on Instagram and give her a follow for me. And that's all I'm going to have for this video, so I hope to see you next time.